a story about a place in Connecticut called Norwich. We all know what Norwich means. That's the place where all the crazy people used to hang out. Well, one time they had a place called the Norwich State Hospital where they kept all the crazy people from all over the world. And they were all stationed there just being crazy as always. And then they headed out north. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Well, at the time, we had a governor in the state of Connecticut that decided he wanted to save some money. So he decided he was going to close down this hospital and kick all those crazy people to the curb. Well, he did, and they started traveling north. North, towards Norwich. Well, they just kept on moving. We didn't.
You'll never know how fucked we really are unless you watch the news, and then you get an idea. That was my interpretation of, hell with it. Okay, moving along. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. I don't know what we're calling it this week. Next week it'll be something different. But I want to let you know that I am sitting in this studio, and if I ever wanted to know what Keith's brain is like on the inside, I just have to look around, because there's wires and contraptions and everything all over the place. And I just sitting here thinking to myself, this looks like it's be the inside of his brain. And I don't know what happened to my screen, but that's okay. So I'm not sure where I want to start yet. I got a questions for you out there. I got a little article here that says, and this is kind of old, it's from December, but I found it. So it says state-owned property should be taxed. This is somebody's letter to the editor. Do you think state property should be taxed? Because you know what to do. They'll just turn around and charge us more taxes to cover the taxes that they have to pay for the property that we are already paying for. Doesn't that sound pretty cool? It sounds like an Abbott and Costello skit. So I just wanted to ask that question, see what you folks think. All right. So I saw this other one, too. See, this way I can get rid of this stuff. Federal program offers cash to cover COVID-19 funeral costs. Okay, that's always been something that has made me wonder. With almost 1 million people dying, and I probably said this before, where are all the funerals? How come we don't see any funerals on TV? I mean, if you really wanted to push the point of what COVID could do to you, show a bunch of funerals. And that will scare the shit out of people even more than you're already scaring them. But I have never seen one. So it kind of makes you wonder. And by the way, if you see someone that's dead from COVID, don't touch them, because the disease can live on. Okay, so Mr. Biden just, let's see, this is October. Wow. Now we don't need to hear that. It's just more money he wants to give away. This one here has a bunch of what's in this. When they pass a bill and they say it's for this and it's for that, and I know most of you people already know this, there's a lot of stuff in there that has nothing to do with why they want to pass the bill. I mean, there's stuff in there about...
Mark says, we ain't scared, fool. Before COVID, many died from the flu and no one cared.
Well, that's absolutely true, and I agree with you, Mark, 100%. I just saw a thing recently that said there's a new variant coming in that's more dangerous than the ones we've been through. Oh, and by the way, all you folks that are out there that got your booster, if you're 65 or older, they want you to take another booster. This is such a moneymaker, and you've got to know that by now. They are trying to rape us to the last friggin' penny, and people are falling for it. Let nature take its course. If we're meant to die, we're going to die. While we're hearing all this stuff about these variants and stuff like that, did you know that not that long ago, a few days ago, an asteroid the size of a house hit our planet? And they didn't even know it was going to hit the planet till it was actually on its way to hit the planet. They thought it was going to miss us by hundreds of miles. It didn't. And do you know how many earthquakes are just waiting to happen? Do you know there's under the crust of the earth, there's 2 spots where there's like molten whatever, and one of it is leaking up towards the surface, and it's underneath Africa, and it's coming up. So you want to get scared. I mean, there's plenty to get scared about, and it doesn't have to be man-made. This whole, supposedly this virus came out of a lab. It goes back and forth between the lab and eating bats and whatever else. But all these variants, I don't know how they connect to that. And if it isn't from that, then it's Mother Nature doing something. Maybe it's trying to thin us out. Maybe.
Gina says no shots for me.
Good girl. None for me either. I just don't. I look at it like, first of all, I don't know how long people want to live. I don't want to be 100 years old and have somebody wiping my ass. I don't want that. Some people do. I don't want to be laying in the bed somewhere where I have no control over myself. I don't want people taking care of me. If I'm going to go, do it while I'm still walking around, breathing and talking. I had this little story I probably mentioned this on the show too. One of the things you got to remember, I'm old, so sometimes I repeat myself. But I'm not peeing myself yet, so this is a good thing. Let's talk about New London County sees spike in drug overdoses.
Oh, boy.
So, folks, what should we do about that? Should we keep bringing people back who insist on trying to kill themselves? Should we do something with the people that are selling them the drugs?
Mike, point it at you more.
I believe that if somebody sells a drug to somebody and they die, that person should be held on charges the same as if he had put a gun to the person's head and shot him. Now, you look at the other side of it and you say, well, that person that took the drug knew there was a chance they could die. That is very true. So that's why I think we shouldn't be trying to save these people. They want to die, let them die. Why go through it time after time again? Can you imagine a mother or a father that sees their son or daughter that's a drug addict almost get killed and they got to zap them back to life, and then they turn around and do it again? How many times can parents go through that, or children even? I mean, how many children have watched their parents overdose and die? All right, so they die. Now the kids can move on the best that they can. But if they have to see that happen over and over again, does anybody ever think about that? I think about that kind of stuff all the time. I get yelled at for it. All right, so have you folks out there heard any gunfire, any automatic fire? Because right now they're having drills and stuff over at the sub base. So you'll be hearing some of that stuff like that. It's messing up traffic. It's making people dive for cover and all that kind of good shit. All righty.
Dennis.
Good.
I have a question.
Yes.
They just passed the marijuana, right?
Turn up your mic.
Yes.
What's your opinion?
On them legalizing it?
Yes.
Well, I think they're only doing it for the taxes. They don't really care about the people that are going to be smoking it or whatever. And the reason it isn't for sale in Connecticut yet is because there's a little catch to it that if they, once they start selling it, and even the fact that they legalized it, there's a lot of people that are in jail for marijuana charges of some kind or another that they're going to have to think about letting out. Because you can't keep them in jail for for breaking the law or something that is now the law. I mean, so, there was a little piece about people that were in jail for it, that once they get out, if they could open up shops where they could sell marijuana. I personally, I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter what I think in a sense that it's going to happen. Now, the only problem I see is that I don't know what the cost is going to be like on this stuff. And hopefully it'll be a lot cleaner, because what's out there now is nasty, and a lot of it's filled with fentanyl. And that's what's killing a lot of people, overdosing a lot of people.
Mark says he's working on opening a pot shop.
Cool. And like I say, that will probably be a cleanup. When I was a young hippie and I was smoking weed, we had clean stuff. We had Meshmacan, we had Jamaican, and I'm talking bags that were like this, and they were like $20, $25, and that was considered an ounce. Now, shit, you got to pay what in the hundreds for an ounce of pot. So the overheads, there's a profit to be made there, but how are they going to stop? They think by legalizing it and saying you got to be 18 to 21 to buy it. You know damn well that the kids under 18 are going to get it. And if they charge too much for it, the black market will still be there. People will still go to the corner to buy their weed. I mean, you got to, to make a quick buck for the state. I don't know. I'm concerned about people that get high before they walk into a job. It affects everybody differently. You can be high as a kite and not, just not be able to function. You can be people that have been smoking for 20, 30, 40 years. It's like an everyday thing for them. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they realize they're high anymore because that's just a standard way of them living. But do I want to be next to somebody working on machinery or working up high in a lift of some kind with somebody that's high as a kite? No, I don't want to do that. And companies are going to have to figure out a way to prevent people from doing that. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I just hope that it works out for people that are buying and smoking it. And will it lead to harder drugs? Who knows? Maybe when you can't get one thing and it's easy to get something else, then you go to get something else. The best thing I can think about it, and I'll say it again, is that hopefully it will be clean. There won't be a bunch of garbage in it. But if it's clean, it's going to be a whole different high than what's out on the street. It could be more potent or less potent. So they're pushing on the museum again in downtown. Of course, they're talking about breaking ground in the summer. Why does New London always stop projects in the summer? I mean, for the first time in 2 years, they're talking about having Sail Fest again. Now, you're going to rip up the friggin' roads or rip up, you're going to lose part of the waterfront to this glass menagerie, and they're going to have Sail Fest. Now, how much, and then you got the restaurant on the other side of the piers, on the other side of the waterfront. So what's really left for people to come here and watch the fireworks? And how much room is left for all the venues that come in during Sail Fest? That's where the money's made. The venues, the rent they pay for 3 days can be astronomical. So all this is going to, if they start in the summer, all this is going to be affected. Like I say, I don't think the people that run this city take this kind of stuff into consideration. They just don't. So you got the roads, you got downtown, Bank Street, you got a bunch of buildings that are empty, still empty. If this museum can bring in the storefronts, bring in people to open up stores, it will be interesting because you're going to have to get the people that go to the museum to come out of there and walk down Bank Street heading towards the firehouse or up State Street. Why would they do that? Unless they got something, there's something there for them to see. So, if they're that sure that this museum is going to kick off, then they need to stop pushing, trying to get businesses in here. Don't wait till after it's done, because that ain't the route to go. I'm probably going to be talking a little more about all kinds of stuff. I don't really have a lot on New London today because it'd just be repeat. Yes.
I'll get to it in a minute. Hold on.
Okay. So we all know what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia. My concern is, where the hell is the UN? Isn't the purpose of the UN to try to stop these kind of things, to send troops from all these different countries to help fight against this kind of thing. Where are the UN soldiers? And I know it's a tough call because European countries are afraid of Russia and what Russia might do. And there's all this talk about nukes, which I don't believe that's going to happen. It would be suicide for everybody. So where's UN? So, Trump was right. We should have dumped the UN when we had the chance. We should have all got behind him when he said that he wanted to get out of the UN and get it out of our country, because they are totally useless. And we are the only country that has given them the most money to exist. We gave them the land to exist. We helped build a building that they're in. And what are we getting for our dollar? We're getting nothing. They're not doing anything anyway, except for maybe like small places in Africa or something like that. But when push comes to shove, the whole purpose of the UN, as most of you know, and if you don't, you should learn, is to prevent it was to keep peace throughout the world. That is not happening. You have Iran shooting missiles into Iraq because they think there's Israeli offices or whatever there. Now, you know as well as I do, if they've killed any Israelis, you know what Israel's going to do. They're going to retaliate. So you got that going on. You got India shooting missile at Pakistan and claiming, well, it was an accident. Those two countries, they both have nuclear powers, and they have both threatened to use them before. I would expect something like that to happen there before anywhere else. But what the hell is going on over there? I mean, is our world... this is going to be depressing. But is our world at the point of where it's coming to an end between Mother Nature and people being stupid? I mean, look at our country. Our country is so screwed up right now. And all the people that don't think it is, that are sitting back thinking, there's no worries, be happy. Why ain't you out there trying to stop all this crazy stuff? I'm trying not to swear. How am I doing? So, and here's another thing. You notice how many ads you see on TV, on cable, on, YouTube or, all these different stations and stuff. You see how many ads up the yin yang. Even on movies that are old, you got ads. On your cable, on your computer or on your phone, when you're trying to read a story and these ads are popping up all over the place. Now, I know that's how they make their money, but it's friggin' annoying. And I'm so sick of it. And does anybody out there know somewhere I can go? If I got rid of Facebook, where could I go and get almost the same thing as Facebook, but with without sending people to Facebook jail and all this other kind of crap? There's got to be someplace else to go. Keith, I want you to work on that for me. All right. Let me see. So you know what I think is going to happen pretty soon? I think when you make a phone call, in the middle of your conversation, an ad's going to pop up. You're going to be talking like, hey, Joe, I think the other day when we were, and then you're going to hear, beep. Hi, are you interested in a new car? This is what's happening. This is going to happen. So there was a piece in the paper that said Montville High School and Junior High are changing the name of their teams from the Montville Indians to the Montville T or the Montville L. How did they know, This is so ridiculous. I mean, is there a bunch of Indians out there saying, hey, I don't want you to use our name anymore? we use... I just don't know what's going on.
Hey, I got gas today for $1.39.
Who did?
I did.
This has got to be a joke.
And unfortunately, it was at Taco Bell.
I can tell. Let's see. So did you guys see the president of the Ukraine? I'd say his name, but of course he's got to have... talk to the Congress, and at the end of it, he's saying how Biden is the leader of the world. He should be the leader of the world. Why don't you lead? Or something like that. So let's take this for a minute. Let's think about this. How many of you really want Biden to be the leader of the world. Have you looked around at the world right now? Does it look like he's the leader? He looks like... Well, everybody, all these other countries laugh at him. They're not afraid of him. They're not afraid of anything he says, if they can understand what he says. These other countries that have been waiting for the moment to take over other countries are saying now, well, this is the best shot we're going to have because Biden ain't going to do nothing about it. Now, some of you out there are going to say, well, what can he do? I don't know. I guess they don't back him up. You know, I mean, they don't think he's going to back anything up he says he's going to do. Now you're going to think, well, you know, if he does anything strong, we'll end up in a nuclear war. Well, no, I don't think we will end up in a nuclear war. Because what country wants to contaminate, start a nuclear war, and then the whole country, the whole world gets contaminated? You know, you got to think about that for a minute. What would the country look like if the food was contaminated, the water was contaminated, money was useless? Because, you know, they got bombs out there now that they can drop, and it will not destroy a building, but it will wipe out people. So, you know, you take some of these movies you've seen, like, you know, where they have atomic wars and then they show what the country looks like after the war. Well, that's not, you know, that's what I really think it would look like.
Oh, I have some news out of Waterford.
Okay, breaking in.
So, Keith Much here. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. You know, the mask mandates have been lifted. Okay, if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask to go into a store. Ever since they started this mask bullshit, in my personal opinion, and I know Facebook is very sensitive, and YouTube and all these social media platforms, if you speak out against the mask, well, you get one stuffed in your mouth and you can't talk. They ban your material. But if we don't need to wear a mask anymore and the CDC says you don't need to wear a mask, then you should not be allowed to walk into a store with a mask on.
Nah.
But this issue is now allowing people to, if they don't need the mask, they walk in to the Best Buy in Waterford and steal over $5,000 worth of merchandise, and then the police department, the Waterford Police Department, goes and posts these stupid photos of people wearing masks. How are we supposed to identify them?
I don't know.
This mask mandate has given criminals a license to rob and steal, and they get to cover their face. You can't walk into a bank with a mask on your face.
Let me.
But nevertheless, I mean, come on. Shit, cut the shit. Get rid of these stupid face diapers. Enough's enough.
Well, there's still people out there. It's their choice whether they want to wear a mask or not. And as far as the police sticking them posters out there, they got nothing else to go on.
And these two people you see on the screen, okay, in Waterford, Best Buy, they stole over $5,000 worth of merchandise.
You see, doesn't it look like they're really comfortable with what they did? I mean, they're not running; they're just walking.
Very, very, very casual about it. But the Waterford police are looking for these two individuals.
Well, good luck. I hope they get
good luck. And they're wearing masks.
And you know what they should do for stealing? Maybe they ought to do like they do over in other foreign countries.
Chop off the hands?
Chop off a hand.
With the head.
Or break their fingers.
Something's got to... I mean, this just gets passed on to the consumers. We pay for this, this bullshit.
Everything gets passed on to the consumers. Everything. You know, speaking of that, so Lamont's talking about giving us a 25-cent break on gas. How fucking ridiculous is that? Huh? 25 cents? You know what's going to happen? They're going to wait till gas. They're going to talk about it to get you to think, oh, what a nice thing he's doing. And then when it gets up to about $6 or $7, that's when they'll do it for a short period. And, hey, you leave that little cat alone. And then they're going to tell you that, well, you know, look what I did. I gave you a break for a while on 25 cents. It doesn't amount to nothing. Now, if you want to cut back, and they say, well, I believe they're charging us more than 25 cents on gas. Connecticut is. But if you want to do something, knock off about $3. Or open up our own stuff so that we can get our own gas and our oil and stuff like we had when we weren't paying anywhere near this, and we were selling and providing the world with oil and natural gas and things along that side. I just found out today that we are getting natural gas from Russia. We're getting oil from Russia. So here we are putting all these sanctions on them, and we're help funding their war. Now, supposedly, we're going to stop doing that, but I don't think we actually have yet. So we'll see. I'm kind of I think some of you know this and not probably, but I'm an animal kind of guy. Not an animal like college animal, but I have a lot of respect, and I love animals, all kinds. So when I see a story that there's no reason for, but it's only because, people don't want to have to do anything extra, so it's better just to kill the animal off than to do anything. There was an article about, I get this app called Newsbreak, and, you got to read between the lines sometimes.
I have more breaking news.
Oh, it's this.
Oh. Lobsters.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see that?
I don't know what they're going to... If you like lobsters, folks, you better get another job.
Yeah.
Because
19 to $30 a pound.
Really?
Right here, Channel 3. Well, I'm looking at Whale's Tail.
Wow.
And they shared this.
So there's this... They want to make it easier because the bears are in some... I forget where it was. But anyways, they're becoming a nuisance to farmers. And what they're doing is they're going around and they're taking their garbage and they're strewing it all over the place as they run off with whatever they can find to eat and stuff like this. So they want the law to be lifted that says if they're a nuisance, they can shoot them and kill them. Now, you know what's going to happen if they do that.
Disconnect Bluetooth.
They're going to shoot a bear just to say I shot a bear. So they take their garbage and they run off and they make a mess in your yard or whatever. So what? It's better than them killing your livestock. And so if you have to go out and clean up the mess, go out and clean up the mess and find some way to prevent them from stealing it. I know it's not good to put food out for them because then they become used to that, but they're going to come, they're going to get, that's what they're there for, to get something to eat. And once they get it, they're gone. There's no reason to have to friggin' shoot them. I can't stand people that do that. Take that off.
That's what? Where's that?
I don't know why.
You're watching an old video.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's how intelligent I am when it comes to computers. I hate fucking computers. Did I not tell you that?
Hey, did you know about on State Street in London? There's a place called the Drunken Pallet.
Yes.
My friend Felicia, she is shutting down her business because COVID-19, like many other businesses, COVID-19 has, because of the decisions of our leaders, have caused many businesses to tank.
How do I get rid of this?
Well, when I play this video, I'll kick over to that.
All right.
So I have a quick video here. I just want you guys to see this. If you're into wait, I'm not even on camera. If you're into art supplies and black lights and anything that has to do with art, you might want to check this out. She's selling for incredible prices. She's selling all her art supplies that came. Excuse me. That was used. I'm sorry. That was used at her art gallery, and her business, paints, brushes, everything, anything that has to do with art, pictures that were drawn by her clients, all kinds of stuff. But check this out. This is Felicia Stevens, and this is her. I'll play this video real quick.
Hey guys, this is Felicia from The Drunken Palate. Unfortunately, as you probably already heard, we're going out of business. So the last part of that is selling everything off. We're officially closed for services, but everything has to be sold. We have a plethora of art supplies, office supplies, furniture, everything that comes with having a space for 12 years. So please stop on by, shop, say hello. If you make a purchase, I'm giving away artwork for anybody who makes any purchase. To help out that last stretch. We'll be doing this till March 18th. For hours, check on our Facebook or just follow us for postings daily. For more information, you want to call us at 860-326-7246 or just message me on Facebook, and most of you know how to contact me. But I hope to see you all soon, and thank you so much for all your support over the years. See ya.
So this is all the stuff she's selling. See, she's got like a stockpile of black lights. All those are for sale.
Are you live?
Yes, I'm on the mic. And
Yeah.
here's all the paints that she's selling. I mean, she's got like all kinds of stuff in there for sale. And she's the name of the business is The Drunken Palate. It's on State Street where Dev's used to be. Is Dev still there? I think so. I'm not too sure. There's all the paintings. Beautiful, beautiful paintings done by her clients. And this is going on until the 18th.
You know what I don't understand? This is such an original idea. They talk about New London being the artsy spot to be. And this is about as artsy as you can get. And yet, this city and this council would think nothing of helping a bar or a restaurant downtown survive. But she gets no help.
No. Nothing.
All right.
Despicable.
So there's a story out there, you guys have seen it, called "The Gas Shortage is Not Biden's Fault. It's Russia's fault." You really believe that? Because if you do, you're just wishing and hoping it's true, and it's not true. Our gas prices were way up. They were way down when he took office.
Let's go, Brandon.
And they're way up before Russia invaded. So don't give me that crap about it's not his fault. It is his fault. And you guys need to, you're going to hear all this kind of stuff between now and the midterm elections, which is like right around the corner. Because they really are afraid they're going to get swamped, and Republicans are going to roll over them like there's no tomorrow. And then the Democrats are freaking out because they don't want Biden to run again. There's a lot of disgruntled Democrats out there that you're not hearing about. But they don't want him to run again because he's an idiot. Did you see him talking about the wall on the southern border, how you can't build it high enough to keep the vaccines out?
I got a quick Biden. Oh, sugar.
I
got a quick Biden video. If the damn thing would just sit still for a minute.
I don't want to see him on the screen.
Oh, wait. This is funny as hell. Look.
Oh.
Look. What? Oh, that's funny. Okay, hold on. Oh, crap. If I can just get shit straight the first time. All right, this right here. This is on my personal Facebook page, and I just wanted to show, like, if you guys are not on my personal Facebook page, check this out. I mean, I thought this was funny.
You buy an electric vehicle, you can go all the way across America on a single tank of gas.
Actually, I think he's just a puppet with some guy who's got his hand up his ass. Yep, there he is. Was that it?
Yeah, but we can't hear it in here.
You don't need to hear it. It's quite obvious what's going on. So, have you heard, all you parents out there, or all you single parents out there, about the news child tax credit relief could be on the way. Now, when you hear these stories, you always hear could be on the way. All this stuff. Your first instinct.
Did you know that Fred Shanty's closed?
It was sold.
What? Is it going to reopen?
Oh yeah. It's who bought that? I
Fred
forget.
Shanty. That's like one of the hottest spots to get ice cream, and man, this is making me hungry talking about it now.
Yeah,
All right,
so
next.
let's not talk about it. Well, I want to talk about this child tax relief thing because a lot of you out there, I don't know if you've seen this. Well, now you're going to be messing with me, right? Lately, my phone doesn't want to work.
Come on.
I'm working on it.
What are you doing? Do I got to play another funny video?
No, don't play no funny videos. Okay, here we go. All right, so they want to put this child tax credit out there. Another, hey, you know, if you vote for us again, we'll try to push this through type of thing. Okay, so there's going to be this friggin' phone is like really pissing me off. It ain't going to work. All right.
What's the matter?
No, I can't get any of my stories.
You know, I'm looking forward to.
What?
I'm looking forward to more fights at the city dock.
Yeah, I know it. You would.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting down, if you're sitting down and eating, and all of a sudden you see this, I mean, you get a free WWE show. You're sitting, you know, you're trying to sit down and eat your dinner on the ocean, you know, have an ocean view and the ocean breeze and the seagulls flying over. You know, it's a nice day, and all of a sudden, while you're eating, WWE breaks out. Some drama between some chicks, and, you know, what's sexier than two girls fighting?
Well, if they were in a pit of mud, it would be more sexy.
Oh, well, they should put a pit of mud. I mean, they should just knock out the concrete ground and put it in a pit with mud, and let them have at it.
All right. Are they done kicking each other's ass?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is the tax credit that they're talking about giving in the state of Connecticut. The credit will be $600 per child. I think up to 3. Fourth child, they're screwed. Children would have to be under 17 years of age. Income qualifications include up to $100,000 individual filers, up to $160,000 for head of household, up to $200,000 married couples filing jointly. Now, this is the kind of break that I guess they're going to give you on your taxes. Parents could claim a maximum of 3 children. Now, this is all what they say they want to do. You got to remember, folks, they want to do. They didn't do it. And how many things have they wanted to do, and it's never gotten done? A perfect example. Okay, maybe I can find the story. There's you remember when Biden was running for office, and he said that he's going to do away with all student loans, which never really happened. Well, just recently, he forgave a bunch of student loans to people that work for the State Department. Not New London. I mean, not Connecticut.
College Pizza bought Fred Shanty, according to Gina Carter.
I think that sounds about right. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of yous out there that didn't get any kind of tax break. Some of it he did was he postponed payment for a certain amount of time, which only adds to the end side of that, the back end side of that, to where once it kicks back in, you're going to be paying even longer. Because I'm sure when you get that break from it, you're not going to be using the money you were given to your college loan during that break. You're going to be spending it on other things, just like the extra money people got for the COVID. And I know I say that wrong. Deal with it. So, how many promises has he made that he hasn't kept? And then you look at how many promises Trump made and he did keep. I know I keep comparing the two, but you have elections coming up this year for senators and Congress and all that other good stuff, and we need to take that back. We need to take all of them back. And then the next thing we got to do is friggin' impeach Biden and giggles, and then get rid of friggin' Pelosi and Schumer. These people are not helping you. And AOC, whatever the hell her name is, and the other squad, they're not helping you. They're not helping most of the people in this country. They're only working for a small section when you add up all the people that live here. A lot of people that live here don't even care. You got people out in the Midwest that don't even want to know about any of this crap. They're just living their lives, taking care of their farms or working in the factories or whatever they're doing. They don't want to hear it no more because it's nothing but a bunch of lies. And people out there that voted for Biden because they hate Trump, well, all you did was a disservice to you and the rest of the country. You don't... If you have someone that's a boss and you don't like them, but they're doing everything that makes your life easier, why the hell do you want to get rid of them? Because you don't like them? Well, now you got somebody you think you like, and he's screwing you royally, along with the rest of the world.
I found a way to make the world a better place.
I'm almost afraid to hear this.
So, I purchased, you know, the Teletubbies?
To who?
The Teletubbies.
No, I don't.
You don't know what the Teletubbies are?
No, I don't. Well, tell me, Teddy.
What hole have you been in?
Obviously, the one that doesn't know about whatever you
don't
just
know
said.
what the Teletubbies are?
No. Wait a minute,
it's a kid's oh, that's right. You don't. Oh, your kids are grown up.
Yeah, they're going.
All right, so they have this show called the Teletubbies. Everybody knows what the Teletubbies are.
I bet everybody doesn't. Ask the people out there that are watching how many of them know what it is.
United FM Radio bought the Teletubbies.
Did what?
We bought the Teletubbies. We bought the show.
Okay.
And I found a better. I have a much better version. Okay, than what's on TV now. Okay, we took it from public television, and I had a vision. And this is. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me double click on this again. I got to get it full screen. It's not complying.
Maybe they're on strike because you're not giving them enough.
Oh, I did it wrong. Hold on. All right, so this is the new Teletubby characters that I've upgraded to Teletubbies. I think this is more attractive. So these are new Teletubby characters that we're going to be using for the show, right here.
Oh man, they look like they could hurt you. Especially the things on the top of their head.
You don't know what the original Teletubbies look like?
No. Did they look like that?
These are the new Teletubbies. and the show's going to be featured on Red One Television, our broadcast affiliate.
Are we going to be kicked off the air for stealing something?
No.
Okay.
Why? It's a picture.
I don't know.
It's a meme.
Is it for real,
This is a meme I posted on my personal phone. Where have you been?
I know what it is, but is there such a thing really?
Yes, it's a TV show. It's a public television TV show. But these are the new Teletubbies, right here.
Is this part of Biden's new administration?
I don't know if maybe they were sniffed when they were younger. I don't know.
I think so.
I mean, I would sniff them.
Ew. Really?
What? Come on.
Like I said, if you looked into Keith's mind, there's going to be a section in there like this.
I'm just trying to be funny.
I know you are, and you're doing a good job.
I'm trying. No sob stories tonight.
So how come...
Back to Dennis.
How come we can have freedom of speech and yet turn around and not have freedom of speech? How come freedom of speech is only good for one group, but is not good for another? At the Yale University, students protested against an anti-LGBTQ speaker, and 3 armed police had to come to for the protest, and then the law students got all upset because they had 3 armed police officers there. But my point on this story is, if the LGBTQ had the right to go places and talk, to present it to our kids in school, do whatever, go and say and do whatever they want, then why can't somebody that's against them, and that's not me, trust me, I'm not against the LGBTQ or whatever, I don't care. They've come a long way. They're widely accepted now in this country, and there's more of them in this country than there's ever been. So, so what? That's okay. I can deal with that. And all these out there can deal with that because we've been dealing with it. But that doesn't give them the right to shut down somebody else that's talking because they don't like what they have to say. I don't care what it is. Freedom of speech means freedom of speech. If you don't like what you're hearing, leave. Change the station. Do whatever you got to do. But don't take their right away. I don't care who they are. All right.
But that's what the social warriors do nowadays. You can't speak your mind. You don't have the right to speak because they're offended by what you say. If you're offended, go watch the Teletubbies.
Well, the thing of it is this is part of what you've chose to be in life. You can't expect everybody to accept. I mean, because it is, the way it is now in this country and in this world is that no matter what it is, there's going to be someone that isn't going to agree. How many billions of people believe in God? And then how many people don't believe in God? They have that right not to believe in God. How many believe in Jehovah? Well, there's people who don't believe in Jehovah. They also have a right to have that opinion. You do not have the right to take it from them. And if you don't want to listen to someone speak, is it because you're afraid of what you might hear? Are you afraid that they might say something that's going to go not only against what you believe, but might even, get some other people to change their mind? Well, what are you doing? You're trying to get people to change their mind to come to your side of the table. So, when you take that right away from people in this country, the freedom of speech, then it's going to be it's going to be what it is like now. Is that the kind of world you want to live in? I don't like, someone can say to me, well, I don't like you because you wear a Trump hat, so you can't talk. Well, I don't like you because you're ugly and you can't talk. How's that? Huh? I don't like you because you got 3 tits and you can't talk. I know I'm being crude here, but the point is, everybody has the right to speak without being hurt, without being shut down, without being put in Facebook jail. I mean, anyways, what happened to my phone? All right, so I got a little story here, kind of it's baby names that are banned in Colorado and the United States. Baby names, okay? First of all, you cannot, in this country, name your kid Santa Claus. Hey, I'm not making this up. You can also not name them Jesus Christ. You cannot use a symbol for a name. You cannot name them Adolf Hitler. The next one that's going to go on this list is going to be, you cannot name them Putin. And then that other yo-yo that runs China. The 5 most popular names for babies is Amelia, Sophie, Emma, and then a bunch of other ones, which I don't know. Okay, so this is kind of a lax night tonight. I don't want to talk about shooting bears because it just pisses me off, and I already did that. Okay, now, what income level is considered middle class in your state? All right? You'd be surprised at some of these figures because I don't know where they're talking about. If I can get it. All right. Let's see. Moving right along at a fast pace. Folks out there, you can jump in with a topic. You can ask me what I think about something, or Keith, or something that you want to talk about. You can even call. I mean, the number's right up on the screen.
Yeah, I know. None of these fruitcakes call.
Okay, let's see. My wife's trying to call me. She knows I'm doing a show.
Answer her. Put her on the air.
No, she'll get all pissed off. Okay, so let's see. Where's Connecticut? Don't tell me it's over by Massachusetts.
Well, I mean, I got a video I can play.
No. Here we go.
You can take a break.
All right, Connecticut. Two-person family middle-class income ranges from $58,500 to $174,600. Really? How many people you think live in Connecticut that make that kind of money? I don't know. Three-person family middle-class income ranges $68,000 to $200,000. I'm rounding it off. A four-person family middle-class income ranges $83,000 to $250,000. You think there's people in New London that are, well, now there probably is, making that kind of money, but alrighty. I know Keith, he just loves to show these videos. I'm kind of a little bit off tonight, folks, but we all have our time. So what do you folks out there think about changing, making it permanent, doing away with daylight saving time, making what we got now permanent? I personally don't care. I'll get used to whatever. I don't know if it's going to mess up some people as far as their jobs. A lot of electronical stuff is something's going to have to be done with that. Because a lot of things just automatically change, which now you got to either buy new or find a way to not make them change or change them. And okay, you know what? I got to get Keith out here because I'm getting stumped for some friggin' reason. I'm getting stumped. All right. I know a lot of dead air. That's one of the main things you're not supposed to have when you do a show. Let me see. What do you got today there, Mr. Keith? I'm like running bad today.
You're fine. You're over your hour anyhow.
I know.
What do I have to talk about?
Let's talk about electric cars. Do you folks... Oh, that's what I had to talk about. Electric cars. You realize, of course, that the Biden administration is trying to force everybody into buying one at the cheapest being around $40,000 to $60,000. And if you need a new rack of batteries for your car, it can cost as high as... $10,000. And the stuff that makes a battery, what makes a battery? I never say the word.
Lithium ion.
There you go.
And they're digging holes in the ground and destroying land to get to these elements.
Oh, I know. And then eventually, so what happens? I asked some guys. I go to coffee, these guys, and I asked one of them, what are they going to do if they do this? What are they going to do with all the cars and the trucks that we have out there now that run on fuel? Can they convert them? Or what are they going to do with them? And then someone said, well, they'll melt them down and use them for something else. All right. Do we have any steel plants or anything like that that can melt this stuff down? So we all have electric cars now. Well, they're dangerous. There's a lot that can go wrong with an electric car that they don't tell you about. And I'll get to back to that in a minute. This story cracked me up. So tonight, folks, when you go to bed, or when it gets dark outside, what you need to do, and this is coming from scientists, they recommend switching off lights, drawing the blinds at night to avoid diseases coming into your house. Do I need to repeat that? I mean, come on. I'm on the air.
Hi, what's that?
I'm on the air.
Oh.
And so are you. So what do you got to say? Come on, cutie. What do you got to say? So I heard you voted for Trump last year. Oh, she hung up on me.
She hung up.
You hung up on me? Yeah, lady saved my life.
So let's check out the electric car theory.
Okay. Let's see. I had a really good one here too. There was 10 things that are wrong, that are bad about electric cars that most people don't know.
Look at your screen.
Yeah, really.
That just totally that's so logical.
It's so right. Come on.
What's the matter?
I was trying to find this article, and it ain't working. Schools are probably going to stop serving free lunches to all students because the pandemic. See, a lot of things that schools and cities and towns were doing was because they were getting a lot of money from the viruses that the government was handing out. Well, a lot of those programs are going to go to the wayside probably within another year or two. So that means that all you taxpayers out there, if they want to keep programs going, you're going to have to pay a lot of stuff like that. Oh, big news, folks. You remember that party Obama had where everybody went to, I guess it was Martha's Vineyards. He has a home there or something. And they all went there and none of them were wearing masks. And there was a big to-do about that. Well, guess who's got the virus? Obama. Karma's a bitch, Obama.
Everyone's catching the virus.
Oh, yeah. Especially the ones that have been vaccinated against it.
Hey, what about that? I'm going to get, for the next show, I'm going to get some drone because the weather's starting to get a little better. But that building that burnt down on State Street.
Yeah, the old Jason building.
Yeah.
Oh, State Street? You mean Bank Street?
Bank Street. I'm going to try, I guess the whole roof is gone.
Yeah. You know what it looks like? You could take that building now and stick it overnight in Ukraine, and it would fit right in.
Right. I'm going to try to get my drone over there, and if the weather cooperates, and get some shots of what it looks like from overhead.
Okay, here's this, I guess, 20 things wrong with electric cars that you don't hear about. The range anxiety is the number one factor when it comes to EV downsize. Simply, modern electric vehicles are still range limited due to their small capacity batteries. Most affordable electric cars on the market have a bit more than 130-mile range. However, Tesla and some other expensive vehicles offer double that number, so 260 miles. And then you got to recharge.
I have a way to beat that. See, if I was forced...
Doesn't have anything to do with a canoe, does it?
No.
Okay.
If the government forced me to get an electric car, what I would do is somehow find a way to put a tow hitch on the back of the car and put like a little trailer and strap down a generator and connect it to the car, a gas generator, and connect it to the car. That way the gas generator could keep the battery charged. You're not even slightly amused.
No.
Come on.
Oh my God. That's
what do you got?
That's number 20. Number 19. Long charging times. Long charging times is another big problem concerning electric cars. To fully charge the batteries, you need to connect a vehicle to a power source. There aren't a whole lot of power sources yet, although the administration has put probably billions of dollars to build more. This car can often take at least several hours. However, Tesla and Porsche advertises their models with supercharging abilities. That means they can recharge their batteries to 80% in just 20 to 30 minutes. So they say. Okay, let's see. Where's one we on now? 18. Trip planning problems. Now, this is something that really you need to think about. If you're planning a trip and you're using an electric car, not only do you have to plan your trip out, but you got to also find charging places, and you got to plan your trip around those places where you can charge your car. Now, if you're in the middle of nowhere and your car dies, how do you recharge it? Do they send out a truck full of batteries for you to recharge? I don't know. So that's another issue. That's number 18. Let's see what 17 has in store for us. All right. Now, electric cars are mostly good for urban use. Well, that's what they say. Okay. Now, here's it. You know, the whole reason for the electric cars is environment. The environment. Not so environmentally friendly, number 16. While it's true that electric vehicles have zero emissions, did you ever think about what it takes to make just one electric vehicle? Apparently, the process of making a big chunk of lithium battery, as well as their disposal of polluting, since they aren't recyclable. Now, I've said this before. What are you going to do with these batteries when they're done? Can they be recharged? I mean, well, Keith, you would know this. How many times can you recharge a battery?
Well, the thing is, the problem with lithium-ion batteries is that if they reach a charge of 0%, it can cause damage. Charging from 10% to 100% causes damage to the battery. Leaving them at a full charge can cause damage to the battery.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
If you constantly leave your phone lithium ion, okay, if you constantly leave this thing on charge, oh shit, push the button. If you constantly leave your phone on a charge,
that was my can.
You could be damaging the battery. So, I mean,
should you charge your phone overnight and leave it plugged in the whole night?
No.
Why?
Well, no, you leave it in overnight so you use it during the day and you drain the battery throughout the day. But if you're not going to be going anywhere and your battery's at 90% and you're not going to work the next day, turn off the screen. Look. Oh, hold on a minute. This is a different phone. This is my old phone. Just turn off the screen and put it down on your nightstand and just leave it. I mean, okay, if you have a prepaid phone, like one of those $50 junk phones, you might have to put it on charge. But I mean, if you spent like $1,000 like we did on this phone.
What?
This is $1,000 phone. Yeah.
Why?
It's the LG G7.
Oh my
Bought
God.
it 2 years ago. Okay, we leased the phone, we paid it off, but we don't have problems with. If you're gonna go to a prepaid store and get a $30 phone, you're gonna end up with all kinds of problems. If you're gonna dump some money into a phone and lease it for a year and a half or whatever, you're going to have a decent phone. You're not going to have problems. You're going to have problems with the battery or anything. I mean, this phone, wireless charging, I drop it on the pad, it charges. I don't have to plug it in. I just drop it on the pad.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So these batteries they're putting in cars are a little more robust. But like I said, if you want to drive across the country, you're gonna have to. You can't tow a caravan.
No,
you have an electric car. You want to tow your boat. Your range is going to be limited. How are we supposed to tow our campers, our boats, or a U-Haul trailer with a bunch of weight in it? You're not going to be able to do that.
They say
you're going to have electric. What are we going to have? Electric U-Haul trucks?
Electric tractor trailer trucks.
This battery technology needs to evolve. The battery technology needs to evolve before we become dependent on it.
Do you know that? And this
Just like renewable energy,
all right.
the solar panels. Sure, during the daylight, we have energy to spare. We can turn on our air conditioners, run our computers. We can charge our electric cars. At nighttime, what happens? There's no sun at nighttime. Where's the energy coming from? Our current technology with these rechargeable batteries is highly inefficient. And as far as electric cars go, we have a long way to go. But yet, our government officials and everybody else is using every tactic, including using war issues to raise our gasoline to $7 a gallon, and that's what it is in California right now, $7 a gallon.
That's partly because they're trying to force everybody into getting an electric car. But you so
you can't tow your boat with an electric car. It ain't
right.
happening.
And what are you going to do? You're going to have electric batteries in boats?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the other problem. We can't live forever on fossil fuels. Okay, it's not a renewable energy source. We're going to exhaust it. So we need to dig in to technology that will replace fossil fuels.
If we're around that long.
Yeah, if Russia doesn't start a nuclear war.
Yeah, well, I put more stock in the fact that Mother Nature's going to do something before a nuclear war is going to happen.
Okay. Geek stuff. Do you know what the Carrington event is?
No.
Carrington event?
No.
You have no idea?
None.
Oh, my God. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everyone's more attracted to Sunday night football or Sunday football than they are to the shit around them.
I hate football.
Back in the day when we had the telegraph, you know what a telegraph is, right?
Yes.
Okay. We had the telegraph system way back in the day. Well, back in the day, we had something. They would tap on these little buttons and send Morse code over electrical wires, thousands of or hundreds of miles apart from each other. Okay. One day, the sun, that bright ball in the sky you see.
Are you taking notes out there?
I'm trying to convey this in a simplified manner, as best as possible. Okay, that bright ball you see in the sky called the sun. Okay, has something called what a woman has. You know how a woman has a period every month?
Yeah.
Okay, they get really cranky.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the sun does the same thing, but it's on an 11-year cycle. So, during the 11-year cycle, at the peak of what we call the solar cycle, we have something called coronal mass ejections. That means these magnetic fields on the surface of the sun,
solar flares.
They form on the surface of the sun and they snap. When these magnetic fields snap, they hurl particles towards the sun, towards the Earth. If the CME is Earth facing, we get something called the aurora borealis or northern lights. But if it's powerful enough, if the CME ejects enough of these particles from the sun, it causes electromagnetic storms that can be so powerful that back in the 40s or 30s, in the 30s.
We've had it more recently, too.
Yeah.
We've been affected by it.
Yeah, but not as bad as the Carrington. Look up, Google the Carrington event. It will scare the shit out of you.
We'll show you what Mother Nature can do.
If the Carrington event were to happen today, we would... Okay, well, let me explain. because people they don't get it.
You'd be surprised how many people get it.
But there's the average Joe that's not going to get it.
No, and they don't care.
So we get this coronal mass ejection from this magnetic activity at the peak of the solar cycle. It sends these energy particles that smack into the Earth's atmosphere. They create the northern lights. But what happens is you have charged particles that come down to the surface of the Earth and get into electrical wires, electrical systems, or the telegraph systems. And what happened during this event is that as the telegraph operators sat at their stations burst into flames. Okay? If this Carrington event were to happen today, our electrical grid would be crippled. We're talking months without power.
Oh yeah, I've said that all along about the with the cell phones and all this electrical stuff we have. That if that happens, kids aren't going to even be able to learn anything in school.
No, you're not. Listen, we're talking about a complete breakdown of society.
I know, and that's part of it. Your phones, your TVs, your computers.
No, we're not. I'm not worried about my phone. I'm worried about getting to the bank and withdrawing money so I can go to the store and get money.
Forget it.
Get food.
So a lot of these places aren't going to be able to open.
The History Channel, all these public TV channels, legit scientists. Just go on YouTube and type in solar flare disaster.
Let me tell you something.
And you will see what I'm talking about. It's legit.
Let me tell you something else.
And it's not if it's going to happen. It's a question of when it's going to happen.
There's another thing about the sun that a lot of people don't understand or they don't want to believe. Okay, you've heard of black holes. You know how they're formed. When a star reaches a certain point, it implodes upon itself, and it creates a black hole. But before it reaches that point, a sun keeps expanding until it reaches a certain size, and then it implodes. Our sun is growing. And, when they talk about... shit.
It's fine.
Well, you know what, folks? My mind is obviously someplace else tonight.
No.
No.
You got to focus. All right.
I can't focus. There's so much shit going on.
There's so much shit. Yeah, it doesn't. You can.
Eventually, the sun is going to get to the point of where it's going to implode on itself, and everything in our solar system is going to be sucked on.
All right.
Bottom line.
But in reality, we could have a coronal mass ejection that could cripple our electrical system. If you cripple our grid, we're going to put our society into chaos.
Of course.
All right. So unless you're a survivalist, you don't have a chance.
Even then, you probably don't have a chance.
Well, no. I mean, there's...
So, the
Amish have a chance of surviving.
Even they need electricity.
No, they don't use electricity. They plow their fields with cows and horses and mules. And
don't think for a second that there isn't...
They light their house with candles.
What do they do? When someone needs to go to the hospital, they throw them in the back of the buggy and hook up 2 horses and take them to the hospital?
Well... we didn't have hospitals back in the colonial days.
Keith.
People died young.
Keith, my mother went to Pennsylvania, to the Amish country. They use electricity.
I know they do. Not everybody's deep into the Amish thing. All right, there's another issue with electric cars. There's a couple more things I want to say about them. You know how if you leave your cell phone in your vehicle and it's freezing out, it affects the battery? Cold temperatures will affect your car if it's electric. All right? So, and then if you plug it into your house to charge, you're going to increase your bill by about $36 a month, is one of the things they say. They're also very heavy, which might be a good thing for the snow. They have low top speeds, although there's a couple. They're very, very expensive. And what's the guy's name that builds them?
Talking to your mic.
Okay, what's the guy that builds the electric?
Tesla.
Tesla, okay, Mr. Tesla. Do you know that they're calling for him, the government or people are calling for him to shut off all the electric cars in Russia.
What?
Now, when I heard that, I thought to myself, what the hell are they talking about? Come to find out that he has a way of shutting down every electric car that gets sold. He's sold probably over 900,000 of these cars so far at an average $50,000, and that's on the cheap side. So that's why he's one of the richest men in the world. But to have the ability to shut your car down, two things. One, that gives him a lot of power. Two, what if something goes wrong with that switch and it shuts down all the cars everywhere, no matter what they were doing at that time? I would not buy an electric car if I knew someone had the ability to shut my car off whenever they chose. I mean,
think
that's
that
just
would.
insane.
I think. You know what?
You know what?
Excuse me. You know what?
I think it's time to.
I think have you ever watched the California Highway Patrol and all these high-speed chases that go on that put everybody in danger?
I used to watch Chips.
I think if the police have the ability to disable a vehicle, that would be fantastic.
Well, that's what they claim. That's why they figure in case somebody does something and they want to stop them, they can just shut their car off.
Just shut the car down.
Yeah, but which they already do, and a lot of the more expensive cars. But that's not what I want in my car. I don't want someone to be able to shut my car off.
My broadcast associate or my affiliate has a vehicle that if someone takes they can't even. It's impossible to steal this vehicle. But even if they do, he can go on his phone. Until the car is stolen, the car will stop in its tracks.
Yeah, so
lock the doors, and it will get the bastard that tried stealing the car.
Okay, so that the car in back of him, the van that's carrying the 3 or 4 kids, rams the back of his car. No. It stopped dead on.
No,
what do you mean no?
It will slowly slow down. It just won't slam on the brakes.
All right, folks. That's it for tonight. Really crazy night. And I won't be here next Wednesday. Other things going on that I have to take care of. But if there's anybody out there that would like to do a show with Keith, and you want to get in here and just let it out, be more than happy.
Yeah, that's the thing. My studio, Unite FM, if you want to be a broadcaster, if you want to have a show, you want to stream to your own platform or do a podcast, I'm here for you. I'll help you. I'll hook you up.
Just remember, it's not an easy thing. I mean, you think, that you constantly have stuff to talk about, and you really do, but putting it all together is an art form, and I haven't quite got that yet, but I will. But I'm thinking about a show soon. I just got to work out a few things in it that's going to shock you. I hope it shocks you, but in a good way. All right, that's all I got tonight. I got to go home. Got to go home.
What, you can't hang out with me?
No, I don't like you.
Terrible.
Good night, everybody.
Here's some crazy people at the dock. Enjoy.
You should put our song.
I'm gonna tell you a little story about a place in Connecticut called Norwich. We all know what Norwich means. That's the place where all the crazy people used to hang out. Well, one time they had a place called the Norwich State Hospital where they kept all the crazy people from all over the world. And they were all stationed there just being crazy as always. And then they headed out north. Oh, yeah. Here we go. time, we had a governor in the state of Connecticut that decided he wanted to save some money. So he decided he was going to close down this hospital and kick all those crazy people to the curb. Well, he did, and they started traveling north. North, towards Norwich. Well, they just kept on moving. We didn't know where they came from. We didn't know where they were going. But they were here, all for us. Hey! The crazy people! The crazy people! The crazy people! Oh, yes! Oh, yeah. Crazy, 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 crazy. Woo-hoo. Well, while you saw all those people running out the front door, there was 3 young gentlemen running out the back door. They were the craziest of them all. Well, they were a group called the White Man Down Group, and they were heading down to their local pub to play some really shit-ass kicking music. Because that's usually what they played, and that's what got them stuck in the hospital to begin with. They were playing that funky-ass music.